Hi, I hope you're doing good. I really am this messy and I really actually don't care enough to film this in a tidy room. So my day so far, I tried to unlock my gate with my car key. My gate doesn't have a lock. Painted my nails and then got an itch on my face and forgot they were wet and like for some reason scratched it with the back of my hands but also my nails and just ended up with nail varnish all down my face. Then it was like dry and gooey, so then I had to pick it off. And then my face was really red, so now I've had to wear makeup tonight. Before that, I went to get out of my car. There was a car coming, opened my door, and as the car went past, because the weather is beautifully English today and raining shitloads, there was a massive puddle by my door and it just went all over me and in my car. So that's my day. I hope yours is going just as well because my God, we're winning if so. Tonight I'm going to a launch. Yes, we are launching a rocket. I'm joking. Way more impressive. We're going to a book launch of two poets, Evra Rose and Spoz or Giovanni Esposito. It's going to be at Waterstones in Birmingham. The publisher is Verve Poetry Press. Both of the poets are going to be performing poems from their books tonight. As well as that, you've got Ben Wilson, Devontae Dunkley and me doing a small bit each. I'm extremely excited for tonight. It's going to be really cool. Mum's coming with me because I put her in one vlog and suddenly it's all about her. Now I'm joking, she really hates attention and doesn't want to be on camera. Clearly not cut from the same cloth. I thought you said a lot of vehicles.
Hello Birmingham! Double book launch. Unspoken, Evra Rose, right there. And some twat from Birmingham, I think. Yeah. Thanks ever such a lot for coming. This is great. It's like proper in a bookshop and everything. It's like a proper book. It's like a proper book until you start reading it. Really excited. We've got Ben coming up in a sec, who's the guest poet in Evra's book. And then we've got Evra. And then we've got Devontae. And then we've got Jemima. And then, yeah, me, I'm afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben, here he is.
Too short and too deep. Physically deep, not emotionally. So, you've wandered into this best pizza and kebab palace apparently by accident, and now you're surrounded by a cackle of lads throwing up casual bigotry as if it were confetti made of the ripped up pages of all of the books they'd never read. So you sit down heavy as the makeup of the girl sat in front of you, who appears to have caked over her sadness with enough foundation to support a city with, but that city's Atlantis, no more than a sinking myth.
You can get his pamphlet, but not in here. Go and see him later. I never said that.
Have you ever tasted another man's language, another man's anger, another man's hand gagging you as it pushes you down? No? Well then, ask yourself this simple question. Are we not all sat at the same fucking table? And this is the poem that Evra chose to feature in a book, and a massive thank you to Verve for allowing me to, and her and all of that shit. So this is called Hands, and it's for my parents. Career's advice said, her hands were meant to be typed as secretarial hands to help men. She'd say, no, they were never. They're a polite middle finger to the man, pint-holding hands. Page-devouring, erudite travellers riding 15 hands. Wild, taming, caring, creative, never complaining, as strong as a fucking tractor. These wrist war champions will still drink all the no-you-can'ts under the table.
Essentially, Evra Rose should be the Queen, not of Wrexham, of Wales. This is going to be ace. I'm so looking forward to this, and I'm so chuffed that we're releasing the books together tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Evra Rose.
Hey up, you alright? I come from nothing, they say. Hail from a world without silver spoon, diamonds or pearls, just humble beginnings in a small council house. But please don't confuse what I'm talking about. Our community is worth more than gold, without a doubt. Supporting one another, taking care of each other. My friend's mother was my mother, and I love that. And that's the thing. Nobody sees the way the strings attach. They just want to blame and attack, branding us all with the same dirty brush without any prior fact. It's the weirdest feeling, flicking through something that you've put so much effort into, and it's my book, you know. It's a bizarre feeling. I can't afford this tea. I wear it like a medal of honour, something I work to achieve. Materialism will be the death of me. Is this a joke? You want me to part with this 20? How am I going to eat? Maybe I should lose a few pounds, just like the magazines have become raggedy but skinny, and as thin as I already am, I can't be thin enough, my gap isn't big enough, I don't quite make the cut. So they label me anorexic in return, because I don't have the beauty to make heads turn. Take a picture of me, you guarantee that shit will get burnt unless it's vetted by me first. Filtered, structured, saturated, the big three, but still as good as those filters make me think I look. I have no fucking money. I don't have the 50s for those jeans I wear primarily. Geez, these baggy things cost me $11.90. Wash poorly, fit me badly, but it's all I can afford these days. I live by the fin of my wage because I can't live enough on the livable minimum wage, doing the horse's work while somebody else gets paid. I'm the modern middle slave working the individual residual trade so they can see the dividends in their pay. Well, I work away. This is, do I have depression? You feel guilt for being alive, shame because you can't disguise the pain within your eyes. You feel like a burden to everyone around you, lagging behind. You look above and wonder if heaven really exists, because this must be hell. And the fire burns your skin. Your eyes swell, but you lack the motivation to cry. Crime would mean that you were alive and thoughts of suicide would be the better option. Because let's face it, you'll be quickly forgotten. That's what your mind has you believe. There is no relief. You don't sleep, and if you do, you don't dream. Your days lack meaning, your nights are endless. You with the shadow, lingering in family pictures. While they smile, you just exist in this.
Our next poet is featured in my book, and when I first saw Devontae at Licence to Rhyme in Barnt Green, I just thought, I hate this bloke. Devontae's got all the good voice chips and I got nothing. But no, absolutely superb. So ladies and gentlemen, Devontae Dunkley.
Hello everyone. But this piece is called Wise, the one that's featured in Spud's book, and thank you again for having me in the book. If life is a game, then each day we need progression. It seems like our identity nowadays only lies in our profession. So if you don't have one, does that mean your life isn't a blessing? There are so many theories, I guess until death we will be guessing. Asking what I'm here for? To work and pay tax. Wait, we had God-given gifts before this government, so there has to be more to that. An atheist told me the stars, and a Buddhist told me peace. Christians say Jesus died for our sins so we can choose who we want to be. Here's another question. Why are there so many different religions? Is there more than one God that sends us here on different missions? Or is it all one God, but from all our ancestors' different visions? But seeming none of us really know. Why do we fight over this? I guess our pride and ego get in the way. They do say ignorance is bliss. But isn't there more important things to worry about than this? Like all these stabbings and kids killing kids. Was it the fruit Adam and Eve bit which released this toxic pride? We're told as little boys to man up. It's only women that can cry. He leaves us men broken, lost with nowhere to confide. If that's the wave that drowns this nation, I refuse to ride that tide.
I run a night in Barnt Green with Maggie Doyle and Fergus McGonagall. That's his real name, Fergus McGonagall. It's probably a couple of years ago, something like that. Very shy, timid young lady comes up and says, any open mic slots? Yeah, cool. Put you down, bump. and the rest, as I say, is history. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredibly ace and Boston, Jemima Hughes.
Spozzy's like a poetry dad. Like, whether it's as a friend or as a poet, he's always unbelievably supportive of everyone around him. He's one of the first people I met on the poetry scene, and definitely one of the first people that inspired me performance-wise, because his words are brilliant and his rhymes are always on point, but the way he captures a room and makes the audience feel like they're at home and they're safe and they're like a family whilst he's behind the mic is such a beautiful thing that I think not many people can do for a room. So I have no doubt that this book reflects everything that Spoz and his poetry are. Evra Rose, I got the pleasure of meeting today. I've been stalking her on Instagram for months. So we are best friends, she just doesn't know yet. But having looked at her work for a really long time, I know how incredible it is, and she just blew us all away. So I'm really excited to read her book as well. But I'm just here to do the weather forecast for you. See, the National Weather Service has issued a severe weather warning. Storm Jemima has hit the Midlands. A tornado intensity warning F3 is set to tear through your life, turn everything on its head. Emotions will be rife. This weather warning is most certainly a code red. Prepare to feel a surge of adrenaline, awaken your every sense with her first presence. Try not to be tense. Remember, she doesn't mean to cause offence. She is as natural as mountains or the moon's mere existence, but with natural follows disaster. Don't fall victim to her false pretense. If you're brave enough to cut off the air supply, the vortex will weaken. Roping out tornado choked with doubt of her existence, becoming a thing cut out of her former self. Trees creak as they straighten their backs to watch her dissipate. You won't see the same her again. Don't forget, after the storm will come a rainbow to frame the lasting impression that became all that remained of the life-threatening game she played. How colourful it is up to you. Thank you, buy the books.
You got me now. It's arrivederci campagna and buongiorno brum. I'm so glad that Mum and Dad had decided to come to the UK to start a new life in a new way, because if they'd have decided to stay, I could have been herding goats now. With my farming know-how that I would have acquired had their work permits expired, or they'd chosen not to be part of that labour migration that made my mum and dad foreigners in this nation. Didn't they know it? So it's hi-ho, it's off to work, there you go. Treat him hard as a wop, treat a rush as a dago. It's tough trying to work and pick up a language when all you want is a panini to make the sandwich. You might be wondering, what's all these pictures doing up and stuff? So there was a marvellous project that I was lucky enough to be part of, that was organised by the marvellous Rick at the back there. Give us a wave, Rick. It was called Poetry. I was dead lucky. I got picked with a visual artist called Kirk Andrews. Kirk had to be inspired by one of my poems to create a piece of work, which is what happened there. And then I had to be inspired by one of his pieces of work so that I could create a poem to it. Et voila. I'll do the poem that inspired Kirk to create that. The night is young, and so are you. You've already nicked a few, but like a kiddie in Cadbury World, you gaze upon the rainbow of delights and realise it's going to be one of those nights. An unattainable cleavage cleaves the money from your pocket for that kaleidoscope of clever juice that fires your rocket. Don't knock it. It's blue, it's pink, it's green, it's clear, it's any one of these. It tastes like Cavonia Coughlingtus and looks like antifreeze. It's cheap at twice the price. You can never pay too much for the courage it bestows, albeit Dutch. So you neck a few, 3 more and 2, and you're good, tall as a tower. Your excess is your access to your own corridor of power. Like the Don, you're full of offers no one can refuse. You can't lose. Getting pissed with your mates may be a source of hilarity, but at what point does fun turn into vulgarity? It lacks clarity, it's vague. By whose rule do we measure? Are all acts of fun designed to give pleasure? A moment to treasure, or a moment of greed, when self-satisfaction surpasses your need? Tar. Woo! Have a chat with Kirk, have a chat with Jemima, have a chat with Devontae, have a chat with Evra, have a chat with Ben. Just have a chat. buy books and shit. Nice one.